stretch. All right, so thanks for joining. Let's start by making steeple top fingers, index fingers extended, reaching overhead, being the tallest you can be. A little bit of sway in the hips, taking the stretch into the side of the body. Let's just stay here for a little bit. Nice deep breaths. Connect with the floor by scrunching your toes, wakening up the muscles on the underside of the foot. Taking that lateral flexion of the spine, warming up the spine, but now already we're thinking about our Pilates, our plumb line, back of the head in line with the back of the pelvis. So avoiding dropping the head forwards. We're adding on an opening of the arms. Deep breath in here, open the arms and stretch one arm all the way back, whilst reaching the wall behind you all the way down, up the center line of the body over to the other side. A big stretch, big breath in, breathing out, shoulders back and down, release to the side of the neck, stretch and open the chest. Once more each side. Try to have the other thumb on top. It's good for your brain. Deep breath in, floating the head to one side, arms open wide, and then we'll take the other arm. Deep breath in and exhale, float down, chest open, shoulders relaxed and down. Great, holding the shoulders, softening the knees, rotation of the spine. Try to keep the hips to the front. And just have a go at lifting the elbows high and then dropping them down to the floor, shoulders back and down. Whatever speed feels good here. So for a full body warm up, we'll take the Pilates roll down, pace it forwards into that plank position, knees up or down, your choice. A little tricep work into a pigeon and a cow face pose. So when you're ready, back of the mat, shoulders relaxed, feet right under the hips, chin to chest. We've only got one set each side, so enjoy this roll down, softening across the upper back. The flexion working its way down the spine, articulation through the spine, giving every muscle time to relax, release, lengthen. From your forward fold, pace the hands forwards, and let's try to pace the hands like a cat, so we're engaging those core muscles, no excessive wavering of the hips, and we place the hands until the wrists are under the shoulders. Let's find length in the body. Even if your practice is to come down to your knees, just try and find length from the heels to the top of the feet before the knees lower. So either knee plank or high plank, turn the creases of the elbows to point forwards, shoulders down, long spine, long neck, and take a micro bend in the elbows and rebuild. So if you had a meter rule on the back of the body, the head, pelvis staying in that line, the movement is just coming into the elbows, powering up one more time, and we'll take a down dog. Lovely. So hips lift, send the hips back into your down dog. First one problem of the day, so pedaling it through the feet, nice bit of yoga for the toes, and pause in the down dog, feeling that length in the spine. Breathing deeply, breathing out, no forcing the heels down. To come into the pigeon with the right leg forward, we'll lift the right leg up high, and then take the leg all the way forwards, lower the shin, and release your leg out of the back. If this is too deep, soften this position by bending the back leg. So either in that extended mermaid position or in your full pigeon, let's just take a moment to rock. So stay here for a few breaths. If you feel you've got further to go, take a little bit of a twist and think about lengthening into the crown of the head. So we're targeting all of those hip flexor muscles right into the psoas major, right up to the T12, I think it is, all that length up the spine, into the neck. Stay there for a moment. So if you've got your right leg forwards, I'm mirroring you now. We're coming into a semi-cow face pose. Now, it's not going to be for everyone, but to do this, we'll draw the back knee in, and you're either going to shimmy the hips side to side. See how I have my knees stacked, my feet out wide, and we sway, or we're going to sit back and sway. So there's a different level depending on how your hips feel at this point. So you had your right leg forwards in the pigeon, weight into the hands, draw that left knee, tuck it behind the right, separate the feet, and then with the weight in the hands, you're not going to overstrain or over-force a stretch into the hips. That shimmy side to side, maybe your bottom reaches the floor. So find the level for you, and we're just staying here to shimmy the hips a little bit side to side. If it's really tight, get your fingers in there, maybe fold and just focus on the breath. Let's just the last 2 breaths here. Then we'll be pacing the hands back. We'll do it all over again, but leading with the left leg. Nice deep breath, soften and release. And then just by taking the weight into the hands, we'll separate the legs, take it back to that down dog position, and then pace the hands back. Rolling up through the spine, the head will be the last to come up. Building blocks. Try to feel each block being placed on top of the last one at a time. Let that control up through the spine, and at the top roll the shoulders back and down. Off we go again, the last round. Chin to chest. This time we can zigzag our way down, so we're just targeting more muscles on the back of the body. A full Uttanasana, full forward fold, relaxed head, arms. And then we're pacing the hands forward. So we're coming to a plank position again. Tilt the pelvis, pubic bone curling up to the ribs, shoulders down, almost try and look over the front edge of your mat while sending the heels to the back edge, firming up the thighs, backs of the legs reaching for the ceiling without sticking the bottom out. A few tricep dips, you can lower the knees, but find that length in the spine into the neck. As we take a few dips, just warming up those arms and the shoulders before we take a down dog. So tucking the toes, lift the hips high and found your inverted V. Use the in-breath to feel that length up the spine. Out breath, heels melting down towards the mat, sit bones crawling up the wall behind you. To come into our pigeon on this side, we'll lift the left leg high, and then we'll take the shin forwards, place, and we can knee and toe the back leg away. A little bit of a shimmy, hips side to side, with that option of bending the back leg and opening a little bit more over your front leg. So this is your left leg in front. So working to where you feel a comfortable stretch, a nice bit of working in the hips. Make sure you've got some padding under your knee. Couple more breaths there in that pigeon pose, finding your stretch. It's a swiveling over the knee and lengthening up through the crown of the head, which will give you a little bit more of a stretch, or in a more restorative pose on the forearms. Last breath there, and we're going to stack the knees. So that's hands under the shoulders, and your back leg, that right knee will stack behind your front knee. Separate the feet, because we'll work towards full Gomukhtasana, but it just may not be today. So that's shimmying, swiveling, work into the hips, and see where we come to on this side. Mostly a little bit uneven, so one side will be a little bit easier. So that little bit of a rock, so we're trying to get both sit bones anchored down into the floor, shoulders relaxed. Enjoy a recovery breath here. We'll be finishing this off, and then we're straight to sun salutation. So it's stretching and strengthening the whole body. So enjoy. Just another breath of stillness. Hands to the floor. Untuck the legs. Lift the knees. And let's pace the hands back towards your feet. Last Pilates roll up, rebuilding. Head last to come up. And at the top, shoulders back and down. Have a little shrug out. Shake out the hands, the legs, and we'll come to the front of your specs. I'm sorry, my head disappears here. All right, we'll lift it ever so slightly. aiming for 2 rounds. Okay, you should be mentally prepared. All right, front of your space. Feet, nice hip distance apart. Breathe in, take a deep breath in, look up. Breath out, push the air down, and come to your forward fold. Hold the ankles and bow the head. Halfway lift, you take a deep breath in. Bend the knees, hands find the floor, step your right foot far back and lower the knee. Release your toes at the back and lift. Crescent. We take a deep breath in and lunge forwards, lifting the arms parallel. Now feel how we're flaring the ribs and getting that back bend. As you breathe out, back off, and this time knit the ribs together, navel back to the spine. So a much stronger crescent where we're keeping the front of the body in tight, keep that control, and then lift into the fingertips. So less of a back bend, more lengthening. Lovely. Hands to the floor, step back to a plank. The knees can come down, otherwise your chaturanga flow, elbows into the waist, and let's meet on our bellies. Untuck the toes, take a baby cobra. Elbows into the waist, neck long. Tuck the toes, down dog. For this first round each side, we're going to come onto all fours and get a bit of work into the core. So knees down, extend your right leg out behind you. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, take the knee forwards and try and tap your right tricep. Extend the leg, deep breath in. Breathe out, taking a curl, knees and noses come together, squeeze, empty the lungs. Breathe in, we're taking that twist across to the left tricep. Turn the chest so you're facing the left wall. Get the obliques working, twist and empty the lungs. Extend the leg and lower to the mat. Tap the toes, we're stepping the right foot to the front and the left foot to the front. Standing tall, open the arms wide. Take a deep breath in, breathe out. Heart center, the same with the left side. Breathe in, open the chest wide, reach up and lengthen. Breathe out, pressing the air down. Halfway lift. Left knee steps back. Crescent lunge, lower the knee, release the toes, lift the upper body. Arms parallel, sweep up. Take a little bit of a back bend, but do get some energy into those fingertips. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, back off. Firm up the front of the body. Breathing out and lengthening into the fingertips with that control and strength in the front of the body. Hands to the floor. Step back. In a plank, knees can come down all the way to the belly. Baby cobra. Elbows in. Point the toes. Tuck the toes, take it down dog. Brilliant. So remember the same on the other side. We'll lower the knees and take the left knee to the left tricep, extend, to the nose, extend, and then to the opposite tricep. Let's go. Knees down, extend the left leg, take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, take the knee all the way forwards to the upper arm. Keep it there, keep reaching for the triceps until there's no air left. Breathe in and extend. We're going for the nose. So it's that rounding of the back. We get in a cat. Breathing in to extend. And we take the twist, reaching for the opposite triceps. Neck stays long, no straining the neck. Squeeze and twist. Extend. Lower the knee. We're stepping the left foot to the front. Right foot to the front. Rolling up through the spine. Deep breath in, stretch the arms overhead. And we return. We're doing the same thing, but with the option of lifting the knee in the lunge and doing those 3 positions from a down dog. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. Deep breath in, open the chest wide. Breathe out, pressing the air down, come to your forward fold. Halfway lift. Right leg stays back. Here, option to keep the knee lifted or lower the knee. Find your choice. High lunge, the heel stays lifted, and we breathe in, lifting the arms up to a crescent. There's a back bend here. Deep breath, breathing out, backing off. That engagement in the core, slight tilt in the tailbone, strong, pull in that corset, and again, extend with the next in-breath. Hands to the floor, step back to a plank and we'll meet on our bellies. The knees can come down first. Either that baby cobra or all the way up into an up dog. You find a spine extension and we meet now in a down dog. Tuck the toes and pause for a recovery breath and feel the shape. This is where we can either keep the legs straight in that down dog position and take the body weight forwards, or we can come to the kneeling position. So the side which you're going forward, take a deep breath in, where the knees down or lifted, breathe in and extend the right leg. Breathe out, tap the right triceps. Breathe in and extend. Breathe out, reach for the nose. Breathe in and extend. Taking a twist, turn the chest to the left. Extend and lower. To step the right foot to the front, you can lower the knees and help the foot to the front. Otherwise, step straight to the front of the mat with the right leg. Step forwards with the left. Stand tall, open the chest, reach overhead, hands meet, and return to heart center. Last side on the left. Take a breath in and reach and open. Float the arms down into your forward fold. Halfway lift. Left foot stepping back, high lunge or knee. Find your version and rise up into a crescent. So the hips come forwards and down, the fingertips to the ceiling, chest open wide, strong through the legs, the glutes. Back off, re-engage your core muscles, slight tailbone tilt, pubic bone up to the ribs, and then re-extend. Tap the hands down, step back to a plank. Brilliant, just feeling the shape, knees can come down. We come down to the belly, either chaturanga, through to up dog, or taking that baby cobra. Taking it back to a down dog, and pause. You may be ready for a recovery breath. It's a pause for a moment. Okay, the last bit of strenuous work for the legs. Lift the left leg. Don't forget we can come down to all fours, even come onto the forearms. Everyone extend their left leg. Deep breath in, breath out. Reach for the left triceps. Breathe in and extend. Go for the nose. Breathe in and extend to the opposite triceps. Twist. Last time, extending the left leg. We're stepping the left foot to the front of the mat. Right foot to the front. Roll up through the spine. Last time, lovely stretch overhead. Breathe into the hands meet. And breathe out heart center. Take a moment to let the breathing settle. And then you might be pleased to hear we're coming down to the mat. So when you're ready, come onto your knees and let's start by extending the left leg out to the side. We'll take a gate. Lift the arms overhead, deep breath in, and then let's melt down over the side and reach into the fingertips overhead. Breathe. You can take a recovery breath here. And then let's take it to the other side. Hand to the floor, reach up and over. So I'm preparing you for a side kick. Hand can come to the hip. Let's lift this leg. And we take 3 little circles in one direction, 2, 3, and the other way. 3, 2, 1. Still on this side, we're coming all the way to the mat. On the forearm, elbow to shin. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, lift. Use those oblique muscles, the ankle and the knee lifting. Breathe in and extend. Breathing out. Get that work right into the side of the waist. And extend. 3 more. Squeeze. extend, 2, extend, and 1. Brilliant. We're just going to clam the legs, hands on the hip, breathe in and open the knees. Breathe out, press the feet together, find some resistance and close. Again, we're just going for 5. Breathe in, you can add some resistance. The breath out, resist and close. Try to avoid collapsing this lower shoulder. Steady the breath after all that hard work. So make this the last, and then we're coming into a seated twist, because all of this work is mainly focused on this hip. So the leg we've been working, place it on the outside of your right knee. Try to square up the hips to the floor. If we need to extend that lower leg, that's fine. We're just getting a stretch in this hip. So let's hug the chest and the thigh together. And settle the breath. If you're finding you're clenching in that lower hip, this right hip, you can just gently press and help coax a little bit of softening into those hip flexors. A little bit of a rock can help. And then we've got the other side. Now we're ready. From all fours, we'll extend the right leg out to the side for that gate pose. Nice in a thigh stretch here. Side tuck in the tailbone. Reach overhead and breathe out, take that side bend. Lengthen into the fingers. You can drop the head, or look up or down, wherever the head, wherever the neck's happy, and then up and over to the other side. Hand to the floor. Initially reach right overhead and feel that lovely stretch from the knife edge of the right foot to the fingertips overhead. So that side kick position with the leg lifted, we're going to go for 3 circles in each direction. Hand can come to the hip. Try and keep the shoulder over the wrist. We're lifting just 3, 2, 1. Pause. The other way. 3, 2, 1. Moving up into the obliques. Come down to the side. Deep breath in, breathing out, lifting the lower leg, knee and ankle squeeze. Breathe in, extend. So we can have a neutral spine here, as long as we avoid sticking the bottom out and getting an excessive arch in the back. This is all great work for the side of the body. Try to move with the breath, that breath in to extend, the breath out. Really work into those oblique muscles, the side of the waist. Pulling in, corset pulled in. And then let's take the clam. Knees are stacked in front of you. We can breathe in and open and just use the strength in the thigh muscles, or we can make them work a little bit harder, adding some resistance in both phases. Let's keep this shoulder relaxed. So after this comes the seated twist, where we'll get some relief in that outer hip. Great. Top foot on the outside of the knee. Try to create space here for both sit bones. Hold around the shin so that we can sit up tall, and try and feel that stacking through the body. So feel where the center of the pelvis is, center of the ribs. And we need that slight tuck in the chin to keep a long line right up into the top of the spine. So when you're thinking about that stacking, try to think right up to in between the ears. A little bit of a rock, adding a little bit more of a stretch by hugging the knee in closer to the chest. Rub out the hip if it's screaming at you. In a moment, we're coming onto our backs for the bridge, and we'll breathe as we rise up, or exhale as we lower down. When you're ready, release the legs. Let's give them a good shake up by rolling from one bottom cheek to the other, letting the legs flop side to side, and then let's set up for a bridge. Knees bent, rolling down through the spine. Feet at a place where you can just tickle the backs of the ankles. Let's find a nice long back of the neck, chin tucked. Arms by the side and relaxed. Breathe in, tilt the pelvis and start to roll up through the spine. Ideally, we've got our knees and ankles hip distance apart. So we've got that lovely alignment. We're balancing how we're using the stabilizer muscles of the ankles, the knees, squeezing the glutes as we lift. And then as you breathe out, think about beads, pearl necklace, one bead at a time, one pearl, lowering down. Keep going with the breath. So we'll breathe in. Articulation through the spine, that length in the back of the neck. And the breath out. So if we're really feeling a little bit of a tuck and a lowering all the way down, we should be lengthening that exhalation. So it's all lovely and calming after all that pacing forwards and planks and sun salutations. Now the body can start to settle down. Iron out any niggles in the body along the spine. We're going slowly enough that we can find a balance in the back of the body, the other side of the spine. Just notice how it feels as you lower the back down. Twice more, and then we're coming into a figure four with the right leg lifting and taking a sway. So for the next one, right foot to the left thigh, we flex the foot, open the thigh, and we're swaying, no forcing, side to side. We'll open the arms wide. So for a more intense work into the right hip, the hip of your top leg, we can walk your left foot a little bit closer to you and out to the side so that we're getting more of a stretch on the right hip as the foot tips over the body. Breathing gently in and out of the nose. Once more swaying, that tipping up and over the body on this side, and then we'll switch legs. So we can stretch the legs, have a little shake before we go to the other side. Left knee bends, flex the right foot, and try swaying side to side in this position. And then we can figure out if we want to increase the intensity, the foot on the floor, and toe and heel it out to the side and into the body. And oof, immediately you'll feel more of a stretch into the hip there. You know, we're here for a good few rounds, so you can close your eyes. Make sure there's no crease at the back of the neck, the chin still tucked into the chest, the shoulders down away from the ears, relaxed face and jaw. We're massaging across the back of the body here, side to side. Anywhere that you want to pause and hold for a moment, all good. Let's have the last two sways on this side. So here the top hip is in that externally rotated position. So to give the hips a little bit of a counter stretch, we'll rock up to sitting. And we'll just windscreen widen the knees in, so knee down to the floor, we're internally rotating. If you're feeling nothing there, come onto your forearms and let the knees sway to one side, and then up and over to the other side. Twice more in your own time, or just stay on one side, hold it for a little bit longer. Smile, your hard work is done. Now we're just finding lovely length in the muscles. If this feels a little bit tight, just picture all the muscle fibers all lining up and any knots just fizzling away. Nice little gentle rotation to the spine, where we evened each side. And let's close the practice with a little butterfly, soles of the feet together, or Baddha Konasana, you know it as. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Have a little sway here. Don't force that inner thigh stretch. You can either keep your fingers behind if that gives you a nice long spine, or if you feel you've got your balance, you can hold the feet. If you feel up for it, the elbows can bend and come forwards and we bow the head, but we want to relax and soften, no forcing. You're right at the end of your session now, so we can let the head dangle. We can have a gentle sway side to side. Okay, last 2 breaths here. And then when you're ready, fingertips on the floor, roll up through the spine, hold to support the knees to come in and extend the legs out in front of you. Have a last little shake, side to side, shimmying the hips, even the shoulders, the feet, your toes. And that's 30 minutes gone in a flash. So thank you for joining.